it's Jamal Thomas. Welcome to the Progressive Soapbox. So, Jared Beck has agreed to come on the show. Jared Beck will be here. Jared Beck is a gentleman who brought the DNC class action lawsuit against, well, the DNC. The class action lawsuit against the DNC. I've called this man a hero. Now, I find this lawsuit to be an immensely big deal. And it's a weird juxtaposition between the amount of coverage it's getting outside of progressive circles versus inside of progressive circles. Like it's amazing, actually. And you start to think to yourself, what's the world that you live in where this gets ignored? Like how can I say this? Like what would have to be true for the DNC lawsuit to be a big deal to us, but to get ignored in other circles? Now, what I'm getting at is, they cheated Sanders. It's understood they cheated Sanders. You can prove it, they cheated Sanders. And yet, people walk around in this illusion of sorts of, as if it's not a big deal, or as if it doesn't matter. Now, Democrats, for the most part, don't see it as a big deal. They don't. They're perfectly okay. They think it's Russia, and they're good with that. Progressives, of course, see it as a goddamn big deal. It is a big deal. It's an undermining of democracy, literally. They show their bias by not being concerned about it, if that makes sense. It's like, whether you wanted Hillary or Sanders, you do understand they cheated the candidate. And it's not conceptual, it's factual. They cheated the candidate. The party that you're in took steps to undermine one person. Why are you so okay with them doing that, even if you weren't going for that particular person? You can understand why this is somewhat unresolvable. It's not so much as we lost, it's you guys cheated. Well, it's even worse, actually. They cheated, and you were okay with them cheating because it benefited you. That's what it boils down to. So him bringing this lawsuit and him essentially saying, well, wait a minute. Yes, you guys are corporations. You can do whatever you want to do within the confines of your corporation. But you took the extra step and was soliciting money from people. The fact that you were soliciting money from people at the same token, lying, saying it was a fair process. There's a word for that. That's called fraud. It's called fraud. If Deborah Wasserman-Schultz wants to get on camera and grin at me and tell me that it's a fair process, if the bylaws say it's a fair process, everything is saying it's a fair process, and yet they're cheating. So explain to me, if I have footage of Deborah Wasserman-Schultz saying it is a fair process, if I have footage of everybody else saying it is a fair process, continue to send your money to Sanders. Look, all I'm saying is that's fraud. They lied. They cheated. They got caught. He's bringing them to court to say, hey, you undermine democracy. This is fraud, and at the very least, you should pay all these people their money back. These people were giving money to a process. That was a fake process. It's a fake process. When I give my money to Sanders, when I say, here, take 20 bucks, 30 bucks, whatever, how much ever money I give, it's not because I necessarily believe he's going to win. It's, yes, I want him to win, but I want the fullest expression of that money. The fullest expression. Meaning, I don't want it cut off at the knees by somebody who's cheating. He goes. If he wins, that's great. If he doesn't win, that's okay. I at least got the full expression of the money. What they did was undermine that full expression. The very least they should do is pay the money back. All $220 million of it. I would love to have a check in the mail from the DNC saying, we're sorry for cheating your guy. Deborah Wasserman-Schultz, Tom Perez, Donna Brazile. That would be awesome. That would be absolutely awesome. But at the very least, Jared Beck is going to be here. We can talk about it. I have questions. I have quite legal questions in general about the case. Yes, but also kind of even about legal means of dealing with the two-party system. There has to be a way to break these parties up. There has to be a way. If you're talking about Green Party, if you're talking about any other party, you got to go through those parties. And the problem is you need to go through an electoral system that is controlled by the other two parties. If you thought that cheating Sanders was bad, oh man, you haven't seen nothing if you're talking about trying to get somebody else who's not a part of those two parties into the process. So I'm going to contact Beck either today or tomorrow, and I'll give you guys a heads up when he's coming on. Thanks, guys.